The story of Doors continues after the protagonist catches an elevator, running through doors and corridors in a strange abandoned-looking hotel, which is overrun by demonic monsters. The final monster the protagonist narrowly escapes is known as the Figure, a large monster with a circular mouth lined with sharp teeth for the face while being covered in some sort of black tar gooey substance. As the protagonist gets in the elevator thinking he is safe, the Figure jumps on the elevator, causing it to go crashing down. Miraculously, the protagonist survives the long fall, waking up in a large mine, having 100 extra rooms continuing from the rooms above in the hotel. This makes it clear that this mine was excavated after building the hotel on the surface, making more rooms below for whatever reason. In my previous video, which I went over the first game, I theorized that the hotel could have been built by some kind of powerful organization, forcing or tricking the participants to get there where they would watch them, bet on who survives or dies, and basically having a deadly escape room show. The strong placement of the mine just below the hotel and 100 extra rooms continuing chronologically in order after the hotel all suggest this was not by accident, but someone specifically created this maze overrun by demonic and deadly entities. The protagonist at this point is well experienced with the variety of monsters hunting these damned and horrifying territories. Screeches who appear and need to be spotted. Halt, a green dark-like entity which makes the protagonist turn around every so often when encountered in a room, and the main antagonists such as the Seek and Figure. Some new entities are introduced in the depth of the mine as well. Moth-like flies named Gloom Bats, which appear if the protagonist turns his flashlight on. Acting similarly to moths, these flies are attracted to light and attack the protagonist, depleting his health. Giggle is a new pale-colored entity with tentacles looking similar to Screech, which latches on the protagonist if noticed, killing him. El Goblino is back as well, being a friendly face in the new domain, deep beneath the ground. El Goblino confirms the monsters are more vicious in here, with new ones in addition. He even mentions that he had some encounters with them, yet managing to survive. Often he eats gloom bats, which he says taste pretty okay, depicting how capable El Goblino is despite his minuscule size. Another large and deadly entity is known as Grumble, who bears close resemblance to Giggle, but being much larger. The pale pigmentation of these monsters, including the gloom bats, could be the result of lack of sun, preventing them from forming melanin, explaining that these monsters could have been in the mines for a long time. Maybe they have adapted for generations and become to be what they are, being utilized or modified to become hostile, or simply added as part of this deadly escape room to pose danger to the participants. The protagonist managing to go through several doors in this grueling place when he comes across a familiar face, the Seek, who seems to somehow leak down through a drainage pipe. The Seek seems to be formed from some sort of mysterious black substance which gives its form, allowing it to collect itself. That's when the Seek chases after the protagonist in an intense run while the mine poses its own dangers, collapsing in some specific parts. In fact, it's so specific that it seems like someone is controlling these collapses, making the protagonist's run more challenging, as if the organization or the watchers are causing all this to make the chase more entertaining. As the protagonist runs from the Seek, he finds himself dropping in a minecart, making the pursuit much riskier and dangerous, with different paths in his way, while the right path is directed at with arrows. This yet again displays there must have been intervention and meticulous planning to create these paths and put the arrows for the right path so the participants are directed to the right way. In the meantime, running away from the Seek, the large pale entity, Grumble, joins the chase, making it much more entertaining to watch, while being deadlier and more dangerous for the participant protagonist. After a narrow escape from these monsters, the protagonist comes across a safe zone, which is barricaded with strong mechanical doors and gates, controlled by sophisticated computers. Catching his breath, knowing whatever he experienced on the surface in the hotel was nothing compared to what lurks in the mine, the protagonist hears the the giggles and traumatizing sounds of Grumble lurking around, waiting to pounce at the protagonist and kill him in the most grisly manner. The protagonist then treads lightly and carefully not to alert Grumble, finding several puzzles to solve, as if being placed there on purpose to make this show more entertaining for watchers of the struggles the participants have to go through. After managing to get out of the territory of the Grumble, the protagonist moves on, reaching the final rooms when he gets chased by the Seek once again, who drips out of the drainage pipe. Managing to reach door number 200, coming across a large dam, a large pool filled with black goo substance reveals that the Seek has contaminated the waters and possibly a lot of the entities, with the large pool having tentacles, arms, big eye blobs, and other infected entities moving around chaotically and acting vicious. That's until the protagonist turns on the drainage valves, leading to the black contaminated substance pool draining, allowing the protagonist to progress further without the contaminated pool posing any danger to him. This allows the protagonist to find a way out of this mine, crawling with hostile entities, reaching the surface through a ladder leading out of a manhole. Doing so, it becomes clear this place is a secured private property being walled up with a large gate. It all comes together that a large organization does in fact oversee all of this and controls it. Just as the protagonist opens the gate, being seemingly the only person managing to escape this place, feeling as if he has finally managed to escape, Grumble digs out of the mine through the ground, coming to the surface, looking deranged and ready to chase after the protagonist and kill him. When, all of a sudden, an overpowerful Seek infects Grumble and instantly kills him, standing over its motionless body, with the protagonist quickly closing the gates behind him and running away, with a text on the screen showing that the story will be continued. So this in a way suggests that the entities managed to infiltrate places that they weren't meant to, and eventually coming to the surface out of their confined places. Seek was meant to be only in the hotel, but managing to leak through the drainage pipes, he infected the water system and many of the entities. It seems as if the bodily construction that he has allows him to interact with water and transport itself through it. Now with Seek out on the surface, easily able to get out of this walled up place, it poses great danger to everyone in the world who could potentially bring about an apocalypse. This ability of infecting water could essentially mean that he could kill people easily and transport through water systems and pipes into people's houses. So if the theory is in fact true that an evil organization was overseeing this escape room type of horror, the monsters are now out of control and they are ready to devastate Earth. And that's about it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, make sure to stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star, and I will see you on another one. Have a fantastic day.